Previous class we were seeing about some basics of mathematical fundamentals, so which is very useful for us in the coming chapters. So we have seen about the natural numbers, starting from natural numbers. We saw what is a prime number, co-prime number, and methods of finding out the greatest common divisors also. And now we are going to see about the division algorithm. So just note it down, division algorithm. So now here, how can we define a division? Means there is a formula. So how can we give a definition for this division as well? So let us assume a is an integer. So a, sorry, let a be an integer and b be a positive integer. So there are two numbers, integer numbers are there, a and b is there, okay, and then there exists. So this is the definition you can give for division algorithm. There exists an unique integers. What are those? Those are the quotient and then the remainder, isn't it? So we know how to perform division. So that there exist two integers, that is q and r. This is quotient and this is remainder. So in such a way that how can we give the formula is it's very common. So a is equal to b into q plus r. So what do you mean by a? This is the dividend and b is the divisor. See, these terms we'll be using it now and then, so that's why I'm writing it like this. So a is the dividend, b is the divisor, and then q is the quotient plus r is the remainder. Okay, so here if you see a and b values we have it, and when we divide this means for it that is in a particular notation, if you are saying, so here b divides a, okay, divide. So this particular symbol, this notation represents that b divides a. So the meaning is that a divided with b. So this one and this one is different, okay. So this is this notation, that is a line. This notation represent that b divides a. So now and then you will be seeing this particular terms notations here and there. So it means a divided by b, okay. So or otherwise in mathematically when we write, we used to write this a divided by b, isn't it? So this is what represented in algorithm, that b divides a. The meaning is a divided by b, okay. So remember this. Hereafter we will see this notation. So here a divided by b. So when let us take let us do the division. So b is acting as a divisor, isn't it? So divisor should be here and the dividend is here. So let me give a quotient for this. So if I get a number, I'll get a remainder, isn't it? So how do you calculate this? Means a is equal to, how do you find a is equal to bq plus r, that is b into q plus r, you will get the dividend, okay. And here we have a rule. When do we get this r? Means we'll have a rule for this, that is r should be greater than or equal to 0, and then it should be less than the divisor, okay. So this is a rule, it has to follow, so you can apply it and see, okay. This is the rule we are having it. And also suppose if it is 0, suppose if you get r as 0, then what you will get it, a is equal to bq. From here you can identify, means you can find it out the quotient. Suppose you want to find out the quotient, how will you find out the quotient? Q will be equal to a by b, isn't it? The quotient is equal to a by b. all these things we know it, but whenever we see this notations here and there, we should not get confused. So Q is equal to A by B. So if the remainder is 0, automatically you can find the Q from this particular formula, isn't it? Okay, now for example, if I take if I give a notation as 2 divides 5, what is the meaning of that? 2 divides 5 means the meaning is that 5 divided by 2, that is the meaning. Okay, so when I give the notation, so it is when I do the division, so it is like this. So 5 is here and 2 is here. 2 is the divisor and 5 is the divider. So 2 2s are 4 and remainder is 1, isn't it? So here, how do I write this one? So this is B and this is A, isn't it? So how do I write this one in this particular format? 5 is equal to 2 into 2 plus 1. So that is correct, right? So you can see here, this 5 is A is equal to 2. This particular 2 is this B into Q plus R, right? So it satisfies this division algorithm. So in such a way only we will write it. Okay, so in division algorithm you can give this particular formula. Remember this formula, A is equal to BQ plus R, and also you should know how to find out the so for this particular formula you have this rule also. So when R is equal to 0, you will get A is equal to BQ. From there you can find out Q is equal to A by B. Okay, Q is equal to, that is quotient. How you can find it out means Q is equal to A divided by B. So this you can find it out. Okay, now we can see the next concept. That concept is also very important. From here only we get it. The concept is divisor algorithm. Okay, so how can you give a definition for a divisor? So which one we'll call it as a divisor? So how can the definition can be given like this? So this particular concept we have to see. So what we can call it as a divisor means the divisor is a number that exactly divides another number and it will leave no remainder. Okay, so that's that particular one we are calling it as a divisor. Just now I told you here, this is the divisor and this is the divider. How do you give a definition for this divisor? Is it is a number that exactly divides another number and it will not leave no, means it leaves no reminder. That's the term we can give it for divisor. So I can write it over here. A divisor is a number that exactly divides another number and it leaves no reminder. Fine. Okay. Suppose if there is a number A and you have another number B. So now we are going to divide. B divides A. So what will happen? The remainder should be equal to 0. That is the meaning. Okay. So just now I told you here. So if you want, I can write that also. So otherwise, as an example, if I wanted to give, I can give like means from the previous example, that is A is equal to BQ plus R. This is what we learned it in division algorithm, isn't it? So according to this divisor, what we have told, there is no reminder. So what do we get it? That is A is equal to BQ. This is what we got it, isn't it? So that this only we are going to write it over here. Suppose if you have a number that is 6 as a divider and 3 as a divisor, right? So when you do the calculation, you will get 2s are 6 and the remainder is 0, isn't it? So the same thing is represented here. So now 3 is the divisor for 6 and now it can be represented as 6 is equal to 3 into 2. Okay, that is the meaning is that A is equal to B into Q. That is this formula. So this is the, how do you give the notation for this? We can give the notation as 3 divides 6. Okay, what is the meaning of that? 3 divides 6 means 6 divided by 3. Why I am mentioning this means we have seen this particular format only in maths, isn't it? In school days we have seen it. This particular notation we have not seen it. This is not 3 divided by 6. This is wrong. Actually, 3 divides 6. It is equivalent to 6 divided by 3. Okay, so this is a notation we are giving it for. Okay, now for the divisor, we will see some properties for the divisors. So what are the properties means? The first property is there. We just noted down. See all these properties, everything is there in the reference book. You can also see that, and if you follow this, it will be easy. Okay, we just make a note of it. The first property is if A divides 1, then A is plus or minus 1. Okay, so this is the first property. So we know that. So what do you mean by A divides 1? It will be written as 1 divided by A, isn't it? So it is already told if A divides, means A is dividing 1, isn't it? So the meaning is it has no reminder. So automatically it is understood A value will be either 1 or minus 1, isn't it? Plus 1 or minus 1. Any one will be there. That is the first property. And the second property we can write if A divides B and B divides A, then A is equal to plus or minus B. Okay, now let us assume the value of A is equal to 5 and B is equal to 5. Okay, now you just try this and see. Here, sorry, A is equal to 5 and B is equal to minus 5. So let me take it like this. So you just try and see the same formula. If you apply it, you will be getting the answer. Okay, so 5 divides minus 5 or minus 5 divides 5. You are getting the same answer, isn't it? So that is why it is told that A is equal to plus or minus B, right? And the next one, the next property is that any B is not equal to 0 divides 0, isn't it? It's a very important property. Any B value is not equal to 0, it will divide the value. So it divides 0. That is, for example, not example, that is the meaning of this is 0 divided by B, isn't it? B divides 0. B divides 0 means what is, how do we represent it? B divides 0, isn't it? So what is the notation? 0 divided by B. So B should be not equal to 0. If B is not equal to 0 means definitely we will get the value as 0, isn't it? Suppose B is equal to 0, what is the meaning of that? It is undefined, isn't it? So if I write 0 divided by B, or 0 divided by any number apart from 0, apart from B is equal to 0, then we'll get the answer as 0, isn't it? So these things we know very well, but in terms of this properties we should know. That's why I'm writing it like this. So 0 divided by B is equal to 0. So the condition is B should not be equal to 0, isn't it? So this is true. It means it divides 0. Okay, B which is not having the value as 0 will divide 0. But if suppose B is equal to 0, what will happen? B is equal to 0 means what will happen? 0 divided by 0, you will get an undefined number, isn't it? It is not correct. So B value should not be equal to 0, right? And the next property, that is the fourth property. If A divides B and B divides C, then A divides C, isn't it? So this is another property. Okay, so what we are going to do means we are going to give some values for all these things. So let us take the value of A as 11, value of B as 66, and value of C as 198. Okay, now what you can do the calculations for this. Okay, so according to this formula, what they are telling is that, like, if 11 divides 66 and what is B? 66. 66 divides C. What is C value? 198. 198. Then A divides C. A is 11. 11 divides 198. So you can prove this one. Okay. So what you can do, if 11 divides 66 means how do you write the calculation? See, for example, 66 divided by 11, isn't it? So here 66 divided by 11. So 11 6 are 66. So it is divided. So it divides 11 divides 66. And now for 66 for this particular number, how do you write it? 198 and then 66 is there. So 66 into 3. So here 66 into 3. 3 6 are 18. 18 90 198. So 3s are 198. So you are getting the answer as 0. So this also satisfied. So if these two conditions are satisfied, because you can see here A divides B and then B divides C, the same number is divided by C also. If that is the situation, this A and C, this particular condition is satisfied. So now we can see for 11 divided by 198. So these two conditions. So here when you see this 11 that divides 198, you will be writing this 198 and then 11. Ones are 11, then 88 and then 8, 88. So equal to 0. That's true. So everywhere you can see you have the remainder is 0. That is the proper. That is the definition for divisor, isn't it? So that's why we are getting the remainder as 0. So now thus it is proved. Okay, this particular property. The next property, and that is the last property of divisor. So that is the fifth property. Are you all taking down the notes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if I'm fast, you tell me. Okay. Now the next one is if B divides G. This is the next property. B divides G and B divides H. Then the property B divides Mg plus Nh. So I have already told you like how it happens, isn't it? That B divides G means what is the meaning of it, right? So using this particular property, you have to prove that if B divides G and B divides H, the same number divides two different numbers, then it is equivalent to B divides Mg plus Nh. So M and N are the two different values. Okay. Now how can you prove this particular property? Is the proof is, first you should know the property of the divisor clearly. Okay. So the proper suppose if now I'm writing this B divided by H, let me write B divides G. Okay. So this can be written as G is equal to B K. Okay, some number K. So how I have written this one means I have written with the help of property of divisor. What is the property of divisor? I'll note it down. This is, I have written this with respect to the property of divisor. So what is the property of divisor? We have studied A is equal to B Q, isn't it? Remainder will be 0. So with respect to that only I have written like, okay. So G is equal to BK, right? Okay, now the same way I can write for the next one, that is B divides H. So how can I write it? So I can write this as H is equal to B. Instead of K, I'm going to write one more term, that is K dash. That is the quotient I'm writing. Okay, so some different quotient. Okay, now what I'm going to do means I'm going to write it for this particular one. Okay, I have written for B divides G and B divides H. Now I'm going to substitute this G and H in this particular term. Okay, what is G and what is H? I'm going to put it in this particular term, and then I'm going to achieve it whether it is right or wrong. Okay, this, according to this particular property, it should be right. So now substituting the values of substituting G and H, we get for Mg plus Nh, we get it as M For G we got Vk. So we are substituting G here. So M into Vk plus what is there? N. N into what is H? Vk dash. Isn't it? M into Vk plus N into Vk dash. So here if you see which one is the common variable here, that is V. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this V out and then I can write Mk plus Nk dash. Okay, so this is in the form of A is equal to Vq. This is V and this is Q, isn't it? So this we can call it as A, this one, isn't it? So V divides A, that we'll be writing it as A is equal to Bq, isn't it? So here instead of A, I'm having Mg plus Nh, isn't it? So this in Mg plus Nh, I have substituted the value G and H. So I have achieved this one. So this is in the format V into Q. Okay, and what is A? What is this? A is this one, Mg plus Nh. So thus proved that it has come to the property of divisor like this. We don't have any other notations and all. Okay, so this is the another property. So if they ask the properties of divisors, you should be able to write the properties. All these 5 properties you should write it with some explanations. Okay, and now we are moving on to modular arithmetic. So all these things, whatever I'm telling in today's class, everything is there in your syllabus. Last classes or some few basics that we'll be using it. And whatever I'm teaching it from this class, everything is there in your first module. Okay. Okay. And now we are moving on to modular arithmetic. You need time to write this
No,
particular
ma'am. So,
one is completed, right? So next one is modular arithmetic, and it is very, very important. So how can you give a definition for modular arithmetic? Actually, it is an arithmetic for integers and that focus mainly on the remainder. So we have studied that, isn't it? In normally in other programming languages, we have learned in modular operator, isn't it? What is the use of this modular operator? We get the remainder, isn't it? That is the modular one. And here in modular arithmetic, we will find it out how we some in terms of some definitions, how we are getting it, and also we'll be learning some of the properties and what is going to be a concurrence modular. So all these things we are going to see in this topic. Okay. So now here we are not going to use this particular symbol. Okay, this operator we are not going to use it. We are going to use a term called MOD. MOD. For modular, we'll be using a term called MOD. It represents, we are going to find out the mod. Mod means it is, we are going to find out the remainder. Okay, so you can give a definition for this modular arithmetic. It is an arithmetic for integers that mainly focus on the remainder. Okay, suppose if you get when we have two numbers, that is for example, if I write 15 and 30. Okay. So I wanted to find out the what is that? I have to find out the mod. How do you find out the modular operator? So 15, the normal division only, 15 and 3 I have it. So let me take 15 as the sorry, 15 as the divider and this as the divisor. So this will be acting as a divider and this will be acting as a divisor, right? So how do you find the modular? So 15, 3 is a 15, so you'll get 0. So I can write this in this particular format, that is 15 mod 3 is equal to 0. So what is 13 mod 5?
3, ma'am.
3.
Yeah, 13 mod 5 is 3. Okay. Now, what is 4 mod 10?
2.
4 1.
isn't it? Whenever, in general, whenever you get this particular number as less than this number, you will be getting the same number, isn't it? This particular number only you'll be getting. It's very simple. So 4, 10, zeros are 4. So you are getting the, sorry, 0. So you are getting the remainder as 4, isn't it? So whenever you get a lesser number in this particular place, okay, so means in the dividend place, you will get the remainder the same number. So that you should know. And now let me give you one more example. So all these are the positive numbers I have given, isn't it? Um, the same thing, like for example, let me give you one more thing, that is 18 mod 12. What is the answer for this? 18 mod 12. I'll give you the another method of finding out this one, because we have studied the division algorithm, isn't it? So with respect to that, I will tell you, because we'll be using it in the next problem. That's what I'm telling. What is the answer for this one? 18 mod 12?
6.
6. Right. So we know by using this division method, we are finding out the remainder, and that is 6. Right. The same way, the same thing can be written in a different notation also. So how we can write this? We have studied this algorithm, that is A is equal to BQ into R. So here it should be um, uh, BQ plus R. So this formula we have studied it. So how we can write the same notation? What is A here? This is A and this is, isn't it? So this particular control, it can be written as 18 is equal to 12. B is 12. So the quotient will be 1 plus 6. Okay, so this can be, using this division algorithm, it can be written like this also, where 6 is the remainder. So why I'm using this here in division algorithm means it will be useful for the next one, which has the number as minus value. Okay, for that purpose it will be very useful. So that's why I have represented here also. We know what is quotient and what is remainder, isn't it? So for this, it can be represented in the division algorithm also. Now the next example, what I want to give here is that let me have a number that is minus 29 mod 4. Okay, so minus 29 mod 4. So how do you find here? 1 second. What will be the answer for this?
Ma'am, 3.
Ma'am, minus 29 only.
What is the remainder?
3.
3, ma'am.
3. Isn't it? You get it?
Yes, ma'am. It will be 3.
Yeah. So if they are asking you to write a step-by-step process, you can write it in such a way that A is equal to minus 29 and B is equal to 4, isn't it? So you can find out the quotient also with respect to the algorithm. I'm just telling you, like you can find out the quotient. Actually, we know that A is equal to BQ plus R, isn't it? So now here there is some rules that for R, what are the conditions to be satisfied, isn't it? So here, if I write if I wanted to find out the quotient, I can find out the quotient as minus 29 by 4, isn't it? So when I find out the quotient for this one, you will be getting it as minus 7. So actually, the formula that is given. See, I am telling fastly because you have given the answer. That's why I'm telling it fastly. So you can find out the value for Q is minus 29 by 4. The notation for this one is when you get minus 7, that is this notation, you have to find out the next smallest integer, which is less than this minus 9. So what is the next smallest integer we are getting it for minus 7? That is minus 8, isn't it? So this is the value of Q. So now we know the value of A, we know the value of B, and to find out the value of Q, you can use this particular method. So when you are getting this answer, isn't it? Okay, so now you've got A, B and Q, we have got it. Now you can just prove it and see how it is equal to 3. So how can you prove it? By using the division algorithm. A is equal to BQ plus R, isn't it? So what is the value of A? That is 29. This is left hand side. And in the right hand side, you have B. What is the value of B? That is 4 into what is the value of Q? That is minus 8 plus, and this one you have to you have to find it out. So when you are using this minus 29, means when you're finding out the remainder, it is like 29 by 4, isn't it? 29 by 4. So what is the quotient? We have got it over here, so that is 8, isn't it? So you have to find out 8, so that is 32, and here you have the minus symbols and minus signs, you have it. So when you find out the difference, you will get the remainder is 3. So that 3 you have to give it over here, right? So that quotient in such a way only we have got it. So this is the remainder. So here when you calculate this one, you will get it as these two, that is minus 32 plus and then the 3. So you will get minus 29 in the right hand side also. So here if you see LHS is equal to RHS. So if they ask you to prove with the help of division algorithm, then you can prove it in such a way. Okay, otherwise we know it. Suppose if they are asking you to prove using this division algorithm, then you have to prove it that LHS is equal to RSS in this particular notation. Okay, so now you can take you can practice and see some examples like minus 14 mod 2 and minus 17 mod 7. So these two examples you can take it and then you can practice and see. Okay, and next one is congruence modular. Okay, this congruence modular I'll start in the next class because there should be some continuation. So I'll stop it in modular. So in congruence modular, we will see the properties of congruence modular, and then we will move on to the exponential, arithmetic exponential. So with this, I'll stop. So all these videos, I'm downloading it. So whether you are able to download these videos.